cement constant. Cement is it's reading. It's his reading that can combine or stick all the bricks and steel together. So I always emphasize to them reading is so important. Grammar, you don't have to teach grammar, I would say individually or separately. You need to combine grammar teaching together with with the real time or real life test. For example, here from one of the major entrance university entrance exam in China. So in the light blue colored words is some important grammars for China student. For example, it said here, located in the interior of Western Africa, Mali is nearly twice the size of Texas and is landlocked, surrounded on all sides by land. Most of the country's land area is desert and receives little rainfall. Less than 4% of the land is suitable for farming, and crop yields have been falling steadily. Okay, I'll stop here and say have been falling steadily. This is a grammar actually very practical in your or English or your writing. But I think 97% of Chinese students have no idea of its meaning or how to use it. For example, if we have a conversation, how long you, how long, uh, for example, you ask a question, how long you have been learning English, this question, or how long you studied English, many students would answer in this way. Oh, I studied English for 7 years. Actually, this is a wrong grammar answer. I studied the English for 7 years. It's wrong. Some of them would answer, okay, I have studied English for 7 years. Yeah, it's correct. But 1% of students would answer with, oh, I have been studying, I have been learning English for over 7 years. So in this way, oh, wow, your answer pops out or your answer stands out because you have mastered this grammar as something happened in the past, at present, or also in the future. And this verb or this action would be continuing for a long time. For example, you say, I love you. You can also change it into, I have been loving you for many years. I've been loving you. For example, if your grandpa is about to pass away, you can say, I have been loving you, grandpa. I have been loving you, which means I loved you in the past. I love you now, and also will love you forever in the future. So there's some grammar you can explain very, how say, elaborately to the kid. They will understand. So also about writing and speaking, some problems for test prep, it's about the material. I would say in most of the cases in China, you get a very low score on your writing or speaking English. It's not because of your grammar. No, even you have some grammar mistakes, if you can have a very enriched or very vivid or very plump material or example or description, you can still have a very high score. But the case is just on the contrary. Most of Chinese students, they have you know, uh, they don't know how to describe. They don't know how to analyze. They don't know how to prove their idea. So they have very, weak ability to organize and answer properly. So that's something we try to teach students by extensive reading. We ask them to read a lot and try to collect or try to record a couple of examples. For example, I used to teach TOEFL writing. There is a question like this: do you think the government should invest more money on economic growth rather than to protect endangered animals? Many students would choose to protect endangered animals, but when it comes to examples, they find it's very difficult to find the proper answer. So most of them would answer, oh, I would like to protect the pandas in China because pandas are very lovely, pandas are precious, pandas need a lot of protection. It's boring. It's really have no elaboration. So for some other kids, after the reading, they would say, oh, I would prefer to protect some alligators or crocodiles because blah, 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 with a lot of materials they have read in person or they have accumulated in their reading process. So that's something we have been trying to teach the kids to learn. Yeah, for writing or for speaking, it's not about the format. It's not about the grammar. It's all about how you can touch your audience or how you can touch your readers by by real examples or by real by real answers. So that's something we really ask them to focus on. So that's the problem about writing or speaking. um, too hollow, too shallow without substantial materials are the main question for us. Last but not least, I think it's about efficiency and study habit. How to say it? Because many students, if they can have a great progress in our extensive reading program, they must have progress or have improvement on their study efficiency or their confidence or their study interest and even sense of achievement. So that would give them, furthermore, yeah, they can understand this pretty well, or they can speak it out very well. So that's give really a good stimulus for the student to keep on reading. So that's right. That's why in China we try to ask the student themselves to make a lot of recording about. I'll give you some examples later about how to read. Um, Finally, I really we have a good collaboration with TCM, Express Publishing, National Geographic, Alpha Person, Collins, Seed Learning from South Korea. Yeah, we have many good collaboration with those world-renowned publishers about extensive reading books. And also, one very special phenomenon in China is that we have very strict supervision about foreign names publishing books in China. So two company, one is called Shanghai Book Traders, one is called China National Publication Import Export Corporation. Those two, we call it government controlled companies, would scrutinize or would try to make sure all the material or all the books published in China are legal or without any, as you know, anti-government materials, etc. So they have very strict rules about publishing. We also have very good relationship with them together. And yeah, these are some, I'm not sure if you can, these are some covers I like very much. Actually, I asked my colleagues to put this covers together. As you can see, this one is all about social studies, 21st century social studies, something about, or something about social studies, industrial giants, leaders, Middle East, Eleanor Roosevelt, World War II, Churchill, World War I, famous immigrant. And this one in the middle is about, many of them is about class readers, Oliver Twist, White Fun, from Jack London, Jane Eyre, just give me a second. Gen era class readers, and also this one you are looking at it on the screen. It's about civilizations and cultures. For example, Rome, Socrates, sub-Saharan Africans, Mesopotamia, Maya, Inca, and Aztec, Mansa Musa, also Egypt. Incredible life of Sir David Attenborough. I like his documentations very much. Greece, great Greek myth, etc. So this is about civilizations all around the world. And this one is more or less about science. For example, the tundra biome, volcanoes, killer whales, the 7 engineering wonders, the desert biome, Maori people, Asian monsters, what's up about time, Vikings in Britain, black holes. Yeah, this is something I like very much about science. And this series is one series I like about, is about Shakespeare's. Shakespeare's and many of the, for example, Shakespeare's and the Dickens. We have a special edition called Shakespeare's and the Dickens, most famous writers in the world. Theory, Hamlet, King Lear, Romeo and Juliet, Richard III, William Shakespeare, etc. So that means actually we are trying to fill the kid with different aspect of the books. This series is also from National Geographic Learning. Their covers are my favorites. Many are from real photographers. This is a series called Letters. Letters is also I think, as I would say, a very test prep oriented uh, books of series for student letters. There's superstructures, Pacific Northwest, Golden Gate Bridge. Let's keep moving. This book is my favorite. It's all about the history of vehicles, from cars to satellites, even to rockets. This series is you are looking at the screen is person. Um, from person, and you can see many of the drawings and illustrations are quite lovely. The feeble man, brave mouse, lean and the turtle. I like the PYP because you can see the small logo called PYP. It's for the IB series. IB series is an international curriculum series for the kids who are about to take international education, like American universities or European universities. So these books and the materials are pretty much matching with those curriculums in school. And also these covers are from Collins for the small kid, Good Fun Farm, African Big Three, How to Make Storybook. I think these illustrators are very creative and artistic. They have been presenting the children with many imaginary or fantastic pictures or illustrations. So I really have to say thank you to all the illustrators globally, because without you, the books would be not as fun as it looks. Yeah. And also Kind Emma, Wild Dogs in the City. These are all the covers of those extensive reading books. Top Dinosaurs, Sounds, It's Great to Be Small, Fly Away Home, The Seesaw, blah, blah, blah. So I actually really like those books very much. And it's me. Actually, we have some, we call it libraries in China, and we purchased many books together, and we have been trying to set up many, or we call it home-based library or community-based library on those extensive reading books. Because as you know, normally the libraries in China are mostly about very thick books. We call it 300 pages, 200 pages, and the kids are not have the patience to read them all. So we are trying to start many family-owned or community-owned or corporation-owned libraries based on extensive reading books. We have been trying to negotiate with many big publishers from like National Geographic, Collins, to purchase those books at a very fair price, and we try distribute them into many centers in China, so the kids can come over and actually read or feel or touch the papers by themselves, rather than electronic books, or rather than some illegal copied books. So that's some information from China about how China parents or students are. In the past, they only focused on test prep scores, but now gradually the new trend is more and more increasing number of families, schools, and students have been realizing the significance of extensive reading, because which is matching to the nature of the kid. That is, the book have to be very thin, very well painted, and also systematic. So it takes time. It's really takes time and takes money, takes effort to start this program about extensive reading in China. It's not an easy job at all. But I think this is a new trend. As you know, recently there's big news in China. The government has government has been banning or has been restricting the many of the score-based training schools, trying to make them to shut those schools down, trying to make the student or kids back to paper-based reading rather than only focused on scores, multiple choices, scores, multiple choices. So this, I think this is a smart move in the long run. It also brings some opportunity for us in China to keep on trying the good way. And finally, I want to give you a small video from our blog. Um, it's about our, let me see if I can find this video. Just give me 1 second. Um, actually, this is a video from a student. Actually, this is a video about black holes yesterday, and it's, let's see, so let me give, just give me 1 second. There's some pictures about, here is some pictures about our book exhibition currently. This about future world. This about the kids can lie on the sofa very comfortably. And this is the picture. Yes, we have many books exhibited. We also have some volunteers to coach the kids to read. And you can also have some costume changing to Harry Potter, um, etc. Yes, and just 1 second. Um, we actually have a small passport for the kid. They can get a stamp for each book they have read, each activity they have read. So this pretty much, I say, some information. This is a hand-drawn map for this book exhibition. We have a Fairyland, Future World, the Treasure Bay, the Dreamland, Fantastic Planet. This transparent space is for recording videos, and also we have Happy Planet Reading Room, Discovery World, Dream Stage, etc. So it's quite interesting. So the reason why I got a little bit delayed is about the internet connection, and this book fair is not very good. So it takes me a little bit time to fix it up. So sorry again for the delay. And if you have any questions, just let me know on the board and I will try to answer you. Okay, if you have any questions about things in China or our program, you can let me know on the board, or yeah.
Thank you very much, Jackie. I think that was a very informative presentation.
It's a shame I don't have a English version for the PPT, but I will translate it to English version because yeah, it takes some time. I will try to translate it into English version PPT and send to Erin Lee. Very in recent days, yeah, I've been very busy with this book fair. I'm very sorry. So I will try to translate this into English version and send the PDF version to Erin. And anyone are interested can download. Yeah, download from the resource link. Yes. Okay, I got a question here. I will try to answer it. How can you convince how can how can you convince students and parents who cannot afford paying in ER? It's a question because now we are a commercial institution, so we have to make money. We have to be profitable. So actually currently we charge the student from international schools or bilingual schools it's not cheap. Actually, we have say the price is quite above the average level. But for those students who are really interested in ER, the parents or the student, we have many free lessons or activities for them to try for trial lessons. For example, we have some coaching reading, we have some activities for the vocabulary, etc. So the kids can have a trial first. And when the parents and the kid find, wow, this ER reading program is so different from the things used to be, I'm sure they will gradually, try this new one, because ER, as I mentioned, ER is quite different from IR. In most Chinese parents' opinion or their idea, they still focus on IR. We call it intensive reading. They still think, we have to do some papers, tests, multiple choices. They need to get a score, 95, 75. They can feel solid. But now, I would say an increasing number of parents have realized the significance of extensive reading. It's expensive, it's not cheap, because we cannot buy illegally copied books. We need to buy paper-based books. That's expensive. We don't use electronic versions, so that's expensive. But the performance, or say the outcome, is equivalent. It really have changed many kids the habit, or you can divert their time from TikTok or from computer games to reading. So now we have a very interesting program called Back to Papers. We call it Back to Papers. We have some collaboration with Parker. Parker? Parker is very famous ball pencil branding. Parker, Parker, established from 1888. So we have a collaboration with Parker. So actually we have some writing English character or English poem, right? We have some Shakespeare sonnet. So we asked the kid to write. I can show you some pictures if you have time. I can show you a picture about the Parker writing. It's very interesting. So even though they cannot afford in the very beginning, but gradually they found, wow, my kid really have changed a little bit, because they are not only focused on the video games. They are not only focused on some short videos. They actually focused on writing or focused on some papers. That's the good way to start. Let me see if I can find this. Some of the writings Chinese student did. It's really impressive, really nice. Oh, this is some Parker pens we get from Parker as a prize or reward. Or this is a video we recorded from our. Oh, so.